Welcome back, everyone. It's FNews57 here. Today I am on World War Z on the Xbox One, and I will be showing you a really easy method of farming weapon XP, in addition to an area that you can get several achievements. So you can make easy progress on the Genocide achievement for killing 10,000 zombies. You can easily get the Kill a Bull during his charge, and you can easily get one for killing a lurker as well. If you go to achievements, it's down here at the bottom, but you can make progress on most of the achievements in this. What you're going to need is a team of 4 people so that you don't get a random that messes it up. You're going to want to set the difficulty to normal if you're comfortable with that, or easy, and do episode 3, Moscow, the mission Assign from Above. And basically what we're going to be doing is farming and just killing a shitload of zombies. So pick whatever class you want. You're only going to get the class XP for actually completing the game. And of course, you're only going to get the supplies for completing the game, completing the mission. So do keep that in mind. This is not the best way to farm XP for classes or supplies. I'll have a different video on that, but this is pretty much one of the best ways to farm the XP for the weapons. So make sure before the match starts that you've checked what weapons, you know what weapons you need the XP for. I'll show you how to check once you're in the game if you're not familiar. And also, just keep in mind that your achievements, if you are going to use this as an achievement farm, you will need to work with your team for like the Toxomaniac achievement, walking into the gas bag so many times. The healing achievement you can work on as well, what the doctor ordered. The first aid achievement you can work on. Everything here, you can't work on builder. You will get, of course, 1 progress for Madman. You can work on burglar if you pick up a breaching charge, but you can work on a number of these achievements. And you'll be making a big progress to buying all of the weapons, because if you want the achievement for actually buying all of the max tier weapons, you have to use each gun and earn enough XP to level that gun up to level 5, and then you have to have the supplies to go ahead and unlock, whether it be the level 5 or the level 4 version of the gun, whatever that max version is.
It's too quiet. We should never have come into the city.
Your loading time might be a little bit faster than mine. This just depends on connection. So I'm playing on my slasher class because I needed to work on this SMG. So I've got this SMG. And basically we're going to progress a little ways through the mission. We don't have to get too terribly far, but you want to make sure that you search for everything. There's a grenade launcher secondary, which is alright, but sadly you can't actually level up that grenade launcher. There's a couple secondary weapons that you don't level up, like the double barrel shotgun and the grenade launcher. But note what weapon you need, pick it up, and if you press the start button, which is the button with 3 lines on it, you'll go to this screen where it will show you what your weapon XP is and weapon level is. So mine is level 4, 15 XP out of 750. And of course try to stay with your team, but we're just going to progress through the mission. It's a little ways in where we get to our camping spot. If you don't have a weapon that you want, make sure that you go around and find one that you do want to level up. That's honestly the hardest part because it is RNG based. Now some of the classes do get to start with tier 2 weapons, like the slasher later on gets to start with this SMG at tier 2. Those lying zombies that I mentioned earlier for the achievement, you can get a couple of them here. Sometimes there is a breaching charge in this area. It's definitely worth picking up. Remember, it's random. If you work with your team, you can go ahead and get that achievement for killing the bull mid-charge. It's definitely easier if you have a higher weapon. And of course, with the gas bags, you simply kill the gas bag, walk into the cloud, and then walk away. And that's one progress on that achievement. You have to do that 100 times. Obviously, if you can, try and shoot the zombies in the head. You'll kill them faster and use less ammo. But now you can see that I'm at 31 XP of 750. Some of the guns stop at 750, some stop at 550. So some of the weapons definitely take longer to level up, especially the ones that don't do as much damage. And the secondaries, they're a real pain to level up.
Don't make a sound.
That was actually the perfect opportunity to get that achievement for the lurker, but that's okay. The zombies that are lying on the ground, if you want to make progress on that achievement, they have to be the ones lying, not the ones sitting. And of course you have to kill them before they actually stand up. Sometimes you'll get a lot of heavy weapons on these crates. Sometimes you'll get a lot of regular weapons. It's very hit or miss, very RNG based. But you do want to open all the crates that you come across. And like I said earlier, work with your team, communicate with each other as to who needs what weapon. So we've got 2 different shotguns over here, which is actually good because one of the shotguns I do need.
I'm trying to code.
What did you do?
The code's
You can pick up a heavy weapon if you want. Killing the bull mid-charge definitely is a lot easier to do. If you work with your team, you can get that killing the bull mid-charge achievement, and you can also get the achievement, which I already have, for completing the mission without dealing any friendly fire damage. Then basically take up positions, and this is the first room. So you've got pretty much 2 different areas. Just try and get as many kills while strafing as little as possible. The more you strafe, the more you're going to run into your friends and take friendly fire damage.
That's it. All clear.
This is just the first room, so don't worry too much. If there is something else that you want here, weapon-wise, go ahead and grab it. Or at least make note of where it is. You will be able to come back.
Get back from the door.
At least you'll be able to come back one room, I should say, more specifically.
What's in here? Something's wrong.
Assault shotgun. I hear a lurker.
Creeper down.
Disgusting.
Like I said, it's hit or miss on what you get.
Notice us.
We got 2 machine pistols from that. Machine pistols, for some reason, take a lot more to level than other weapons. It's also a really good idea to kill the screamers.
I thought he had me.
The screamers will cause zombies to come from areas that you don't necessarily want. And then of course, if you have a breaching charge, make sure you use your breaching charge.
I'm breaching the door.
The more rooms that you open up, the better. That means the more chances at different weapons. There's a chainsaw. Remember, all of this is RNG based. So like, I need to do the crossbow, for instance. That's one weapon that I need. and right now we didn't get the crossbow. We basically got like hardly any weapons that I can use right now. But this is our little camping spot. It's the second room in. And you just position so that you should have 2 players. Well, this is one of the camping spots, I should say. There's definitely a few different areas that you can use, but you should have 2 players focused on each of the areas that they jump up from. I'm pretty sure our favorite spot is in the next room, so just bear with me. But basically, each one of these little defense ones, there will be an ammo crate, and you can just pretty much keep restocking rounds. The only thing you really have to worry about a lot is the bulls and the gas bag zombies. You kind of have to watch out for those. If you are doing this, it definitely helps if you have somebody with a crossbow or explosive weapon of some kind. Because otherwise you get all these dudes that just come up here.
Sensors off, but the damn system locked up again.
But see, basically, what we did there is we messed up. You have to forget about that last switch. Like when it says to do the last switch, you don't do it. And then you'll just have a pile of zombies here.
Today's a good day.
And you'll just be able to keep farming XP and farming XP. You'll be able to go through all the weapons that you want here.
Damn it. Out of ammo.
Just keep in mind, check the leaderboard, and if you see one person that's getting close to like 9,000 kills, you're going to want to go ahead and hit that switch that our random that we were playing with just hit, so he kind of cost us the ability to sit here and farm. But that's alright, because we'll just finish the mission and then go ahead and do it again. You can average, depending on what weapons you need and what weapons you get, you can average about 3 weapons, maybe 4 weapons to level 5 by the time you're done with this. This is one of the weapons that doesn't level as quickly. But then basically what you do is you move on. Once you've leveled up all of your weapons that you can, or somebody's really close to 9,000 kills, you go ahead and you hit that last switch, which unfortunately our random teammate did way before he was supposed to, and then you just move on. Finish the mission. Once you finish the mission, then you simply restart the mission. Some people have said it's best to just go ahead and die. It is faster if you die, but I wouldn't recommend dying.
Quiet, or they'll hear us.
And then, you know, just rinse and repeat this way. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We did this really way too quickly, but that's simply due to the fact that the random did something that he wasn't supposed to do. That's why I said make sure that you coordinate with your team. Coordinating with your team is literally the most important thing that you can do. Depending on the difficulty that you're playing on, you'll get a base amount of character or class XP. You'll also get a base amount of credits for finishing it. You get far less supplies and far less class XP if you die, like if everybody dies and your team fails versus a successful completion. But if you wanted to do it just super quickly to keep refreshing the weapons that you get there, because some weapons are obviously going to be rarer than other weapons, you could simply run through that part. Once you've used all the weapons that you can, you could just have your entire team wipe and go from there. Because finding weapons like the bullpup or the battle rifle or something like that, those are definitely more uncommon weapons. And then of course this is your final area. You can go ahead and refill your ammo, and this is generally where you'll start getting more of the higher level weapons. The tier 3 weapons will generally be in this area, but it is possible to get the tier 3 weapons at that first area that I showed you. It's absolutely 100% possible for you to get those weapons there. It's just 100% RNG based. Like right now, you can see we got really lucky. We got these tier 3 weapons, but they're at the last part. So if you do continue through the mission fully and you do this end part, then at the very least you will be able to get some kills with a level 3 weapon instead of just a level 1 and 2 weapons. But remember that the earlier spots can yield those level 3 weapons as well. It's just slightly less likely. So make a note before you start of what weapons you need and where they spawn. It might take you a game or two to get everything figured out with your team, but then just proceed as normal. Set up your defenses. If you want the achievement for setting up so many defenses, it's easy enough to get here. As you've seen, I just set up that high voltage fence up here because there will be a swarm. But keep in mind that that achievement you will get just throughout the course of playing the game. You don't really have to go out of your way too much. It's probably easier to actually farm that achievement if you wanted to farm that achievement by playing the very first mission of the game over and over, because there's at least 4 different defense things that you can get there. You can get a lot of XP if you have a weapon that kills quickly. That's why I picked up this weapon, since I can start with an SMG on this particular class. And then you're just going to want to fire as fast as possible into the horde and maximize as many kills as possible when you get to this point, assuming you have a weapon that you actually need kills with. If you have no weapons that you need kills with, then I would recommend trying to let your teammates have more of the kills, assuming that they have weapons that they need kills with. It's just the most efficient way to actually do this and make sure that everybody gets the achievement. So you're really not going to be using like the mortar defenses or anything like that. They're going to come from the front the first time. Pretty sure there's a creep around here. Then they're going to come from the sides. And this is relatively consistent each time. It's kind of a smaller horde that comes from the side. And there's also another ammo box, as you can see right here on the boat.
Today's a good day.
This is actually a relatively fast mission. It would take a lot longer. Obviously, it would take, you could spend an hour or more farming zombies. The reason why you want to make sure that you get out of here before somebody hits 10,000, and that's why you want to stop at the first farming spot before somebody hits 9,000, or as they're about to hit 9,000, is because once a single player hits 10,000 kills in one game, the game starts to get very buggy, and it has an extremely high chance of disconnecting a player, which if it disconnects you from the game, you will not keep any of your weapon XP, character XP, anything like that. So just bear that in mind as you're playing, that you don't want to really be too greedy and you want to work with your team. It is 100% possible to do this with bots, because bots will not actually run up and activate the switch by themselves, so they won't activate the objective. They'll just stick with you, and you'd have to run up there and activate the objective. The problem is currently the game does not have any functionality for a 100% private lobby. So since it doesn't have any functionality for a 100% private lobby, you will at some point always have players that replace the actual players, or the bots, and that's the problem. Like right now, Ivan's a bot. Our random, the dude that actually activated the door, for whatever reason, he got disconnected from the game, or he chose to leave. And that's how you do it. That's the general basis of it. If you're working with your team, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to skip the beginning cutscene and the ending cutscene just to get it done as fast as humanly possible. After that, you're going to go ahead and get your screen, and you'll see your performance bonus, which I do believe we were playing on normal difficulty. I'll know here in just a second. And you want to get as many kills in each game as long as there's no weapons that you don't need to use, so that you can eliminate the maximum number of games you need to play. But you can skip each one of these screens, and you'll see I got 1450, and then I got a performance bonus, so we got 1750 for the class XP, and then you can see the XP that you get for whatever weapons that you used, which even though I didn't get that bullpup until pretty much the end of the game, I did earn enough XP to get it to level 2 and then some, and since we were on normal difficulty, I got 250 supplies. Make sure that you go into your weapon customization screen to see what weapons you still need progress with. Note the level 1 weapons, and then just note what weapons you're close on so that you can pick up the appropriate weapon. There are other class perks that you can get for the different classes. There's one that allows you to start with a PDW. There's one that allows you to start with a compact shotgun. And I do believe there is one that allows you to start with a sporting carbine. So just keep that in mind as you're going through, that you can level up your class and start with one of those weapons, but it is best to go ahead and use, when available to you, the tier 3 and then tier 2 weapons until you've maxed them out. The most annoying weapon I would say to get is the crossbow and then the sniper rifle. These are the two weapons that I seem to see the least. So hopefully that video helped you out. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to send me a message, post a comment on the video. I'll do my best to help you. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you again. So I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, stay frosty.